wanted to make a quick video for you guys. If you guys, are the type of people that don't like to struggle a lot with Fortnite Save the World, and you are in, at least Canny Valley, any mission you farm here, of course, is a good mission to farm. You're getting quite a bit of experience compared to, Plankerton. If you're gonna farm and you want to do easy farms, I would start by farming the highest level you can, of course. The easiest missions to farm are always build a radar. What I like to do is I start in Twine Peaks. Usually there's enough to fill my quota. You get 10 storm alerts, which means, the snowflake tickets, you can farm 10 of those missions for tickets, so you could potentially get 1,200 tickets if you do all level 100 missions. When you mix it and match between level 100 and level 76 missions, you end up with over 1,000 tickets anyways. And the way I like to farm tickets and gold, and it's the way I consider the smartest at this point, because they're giving tickets with build a radar missions. In the past they have done events where easy missions like build a radar, encampments, and survivors didn't give tickets. But right now they're doing it, so they're excellent. The reason being is because with a mission like this, build a radar, you're not technically defending an objective. Every now and then you're fighting the mobs that are coming after you. What I like to do when I'm building a tower is, as soon as I get to the tower and throw in the floor, I will go up and I will place a patrol ward right on the floor. And what patrol wards do is, for the duration of the trap, while it's working, it basically prevents those random spiky things from spawning close to you and allowing zombies to come out of nowhere and attack you. So usually if you clean up an area where you're building a tower with your drones and you set one of those down, you won't be bothered normally. On level 100 missions though, zombies are a little bit more stubborn, so they keep coming at you. But on lower level missions, one of those is enough. The level doesn't really matter, I've seen. But it might be a higher level does more resistance. Maybe that's why at level 100 missions I still get those spawns every now and then. Anyways, so since I don't farm for materials, I'll show you my storage. I don't farm for metal, I don't farm for wood, I don't farm for brick. I don't keep that stuff here because it's useless. I only keep one stack of metal for whenever I do storm shield defenses and I have to build some trap tunnels or defend. I use my storage for traps, so I can go and kick butt when I need it. I keep my storage for the gun traps, for those things I was telling you guys I'm working on. I'm trying to build up an arsenal with 106s and 82s, so when I do hold the contest or whatever, I'm gonna be able more equipped. I'm building an arsenal with 130s, 106s. I'm a little low on 82, so it's gonna be mostly 106s when I do that. I just haven't had a chance, been busy with my real life stuff, getting my certification for from the American Council on Exercise to be a fitness instructor, and doing a couple things here and there. But as soon as I get more of a chance to work on this channel, I'll start doing that for sure. But as far as it goes, I'm just farming materials, my traps. Anyway, so when you do missions like this, you are basically just building little towers. Your drones are enough to defend you. You don't have to fight. You're not wasting your weapon durability. You're not wasting a lot of materials on it, really. And if you farm with Striker, you don't get any gunplay with Striker. You don't get any additional perk ups to fight. So it's mostly, a useless steady that doesn't get an extra boost. But he does have the nice farming ability of the strike, anti-material charge. And if you strike something, it's a 4-second cooldown, so you can run around the level destroying every single little thing you see with just waiting a second or two in between items. And you fill up your materials pretty quick. On an average mission I get about 2,000 to 3,000 of each type of material when I'm playing, and that's just from running around completing the towers. I'm able to do all 5 towers on my own without anybody helping, so I can do a private and do it, and it's easy. Farm, get everything I need. Once I'm done with all the builder radars going from level 100 down, all the way down to 76, then I go back up to level 100 and I start with rescue the survivors that have tickets. And I try to make sure I stick with the storm missions. Now let me tell you why I like farming those. You see right here it says 12,375 schematic XP. That's about the average packet that you get on level 94, 98 missions. On 76s is a little bit less. Let me see if I can find one. Well, this one did have one. This one's 9,600. So every mission you play that has a little the little schematic thing, like this one right here has 2 schematics, 1 gold, is basically telling me that it's going to drop me about 20,000 XP, plus the 112 snowflake tickets, the storm shard, and it's going to give me about 115 gold, I believe, at this level. On this level missions, level 100 missions, you get about 135 gold per gold packet, and you get about 15,000 XP. 94 missions, you get 12,300. So if I were to do this mission right now, I'm gonna get about 24,000 schematic XP, 120 gold, the 118 snowflake tickets, Eye of the Storm, and every 2 missions I complete, because of the repeatable quest right here, an event repeatable quest, Killer Storms. Every 2 mutant storms gives me 100 gold. So essentially, when I'm doing Twine Peak level missions, such as build the radars of any level difficulty, I'm getting about 170 gold per mission I do. I'm getting over 100 tickets, which every 5 missions turns into an event llama, and every 10 farmable missions you can do, it's 2 event llamas. So you potentially can get 2 event llamas, fill up your materials, and get enough gold to buy a couple items from the store. And then, like I said before, you know, this has essentially no fighting involved in it. This one's involved a lot of fighting, so I don't do encampments until I'm done with this build the radars and survivors. Survivors, same thing. If you get lucky, you can defend all 6 survivors you need just to get the level done with minimal effort. If you want to go for all 12, you'll do a little fighting every now and then. The next easier missions to do is either encampments or refuel the home base. If you're full of materials, I would recommend more doing something like refill the home base. You do 3-minute fights, 2 of them basically, and you're done. And I say 3 minutes fights because each blue glow siphon mechanism operates for a minute in between fails, and you can do 3 stages per siphon. So you're essentially doing 6 stages, 6-minute fights. You're defending this thing for 6 minutes. If you build a basic trap tunnel the way Sly Gumby builds his 360 defense, where you have the floor launcher and the 45s and an electrical trap on top, like this one right here goes through 45s. Let me show you. Essentially, this trap right here still goes through 45, so when you have that on top of the 45 and the husk are attacking your 45, they discharge electricity on the husk, and then if the husk is still alive, the floor launchers will kick them out. This floor launchers right here. So it makes it for an incredibly easy to defend target, especially because you're not getting huge waves of zombies at once. And if you throw in your defender snipers on top of the blue glow siphon, you're good to go. What does happen a lot on this though, and I would be careful, is a lot of lobbers. I've seen lobbers every single time I do one of these missions, and that's why I don't do them that much. I kind of hate lobbers. They do a lot of damage real quick. If you have a lot of materials like I do right now, my next target would be to farm something difficult like this, like a 4X mission where I know I'm going to waste a lot of materials, or advance on my storyline, which at this point, you know, that's the only mission I can do to advance my storyline, looks like. Oh, there's this one, but there's no ticket, so it's useless. This one right here gives you 2 packets. So this mission right here would give me 28,000 XP. While this builder raider over here is going to give me 24,000 because it's 94. I did this one earlier today and it gave me a good amount of reperks, which is not that much honestly, but schematic XP did give me what I said it was going to give me, like 14,000. Same goes in this mission, you know. So that's the way I like to do it, and the reason why, let me explain real quick, is when you do Atlas mission like this, Fight the Storm, you're looking at a 7-minute fight. When you do an Evacuate the Shelter, when it's not a 4-player mission, you're looking at about 5-6 minute fight. When you're doing a Deliver the Bomb, regardless of 4X or regular, you're doing a 4-minute fight. So this one's the shortest fight from all the levels. If you're doing an actual mission that requires building and defending, if you don't want to be building and defending big time, by all means, Build a Raider is the easiest mission you can do. If you feel like defending a lot, retrieve the data, and fight the storm are the longest missions to fight. They're 7-minute fights, so you're looking to be defending for 7 minutes to complete the mission, which, you know, it's not ideal, but it's not too bad either. If I'm low on materials, I farm until I fill up. When I'm full, I go and I do fights that require materials to be spent. If I don't feel like fighting a lot, I'll just stick with build the radars, then move on to survivors. Where are the survivors? See, there's not that many survivor missions at this point. And then after survivors, I move on to encampments, just because encampments don't require me to build. They do require a couple of guns, just because they do tend to break more often when you're doing a mission where you're constantly fighting. But you know, if you're playing by yourself, it's not that difficult to keep your drones and your teddy and take care of the encampments one by one, let your stuff refresh, and then one by one. You have enough time to do it, so it's just not that difficult either. The one mission I try to stay away from at all times is this one, just because you do have to do 2-3 minute fights, which turns to a 6-minute fight. And a lot of the times what happens, if you're not doing a specific, this one's all water, so you're safe. But when you're not doing a specific alert mission like that, such as something like this, you have to watch out, because the material you used to build for the first wave, you're going to get zombies. If you get any elemental zombies, you're going to get zombies that are going to be strong against that element. And whatever walls they destroy and you rebuild with a different element, the next wave usually comes with the element that's strong against whatever you just built. So it's one of those kind of annoying missions to do, just because you can't think of just one element to cover. You're going to have to cover both elements in the long run. And it sounds stupid, it's hard to explain. Maybe I can do a gameplay video of each mission level later on, just to show what I like to do with them. But yeah, I mean, farming wise, materials, tickets, and gold, by far the easiest is build a radar, followed by rescue the survivor. And then whether you want to fight a lot or a little, fill the base, encampments. If you're full of materials and you want to waste your materials, I would recommend going for something like Deliver the Bomb, where they are guaranteed 4-minute fights. This one right here can vary between 4 and 7 minutes. I still don't know what causes it to change. I believe it's just because it's regular mission and a 4X mission. But, you know, 7 minutes of fighting, I'll rather avoid it if I can, just because it seems like a waste more than anything else when you're just farming for XP and tickets. Like I said, at this point though, I'm probably going to be farming this mission up here, just because it's given the 4X reperks and the schematic XP, and because I already filled up all my materials while playing Build a Radar missions. So just wanted to bring this here so that if you guys want to farm and are getting annoyed at the farming, just think about it that way. You practice your build, you do quick missions without having to defend. Make sure you have a patrol ward to help you keep all those little patrol of zombies coming at you. And once you're done with all the build the radars on the highest levels you can, go back and start with the rescue the survivors, and then, you know, destroy the encampments or refill the home base. It's up to you whether you want to use more traps and materials, or you want to use more guns, I guess, if you want to use gun materials, or if you want to use trap materials with building materials. Refill the home base. Personally though, I stick with destroy the encampments, and then I jump over to doing missions like Deliver the Bomb if they have good rewards. I try not to farm the 4X again, just to keep that in check, because they give you a lot of survivors every now and then, and if you farm 3 of those missions, you're screwed. You cannot get the survivor until you wait 24 hours for the cooldown, which is kind of annoying because I missed out on a mythic survivor once due to that. So I don't do the 4X missions anymore until I see something good. And then after Deliver the Bomb, my next favorite mission is Evacuate the Shelter. You go in, you defend. If you're high enough level like me, which I like to be, all the way to 88s, the way I play is I go in, I go around the whole map, farm, fill up my materials if I'm low, and then come back like a minute before the fight starts and start throwing walls up and defenders up and traps up, and we're good to go. They are easy to defend. If you're doing a 4X mission though, those are a little bit trickier. They have a longer fight. Actually, this one's not bad. See, level 88 missions give you 11,000 per packet. So this one right here would be 22,000 XP. This one right here will be 22,000 XP. This one here will be 11,000 XP and 40 legendary perk ups. When you see one legendary perk up or one perk up like that, usually means 40 or 50. On the lower ones, like rare, where's it? I saw it. This one right here, this 2 times uncommon, you're gonna get 70 times 2, so you're gonna get about 140 uncommon perk ups at this point. It's a little bit uneven, but you know, it's the way Epic considers things to be important from more to less. They are actually being kind of nice, because when you can farm legendary perk ups as an additional like this, they're giving you 80, which is twice the amount they normally do when you see that one logo. So that's something to keep in mind. And again, Epic is always changing stuff, so at this point this is what I've noticed, this is what I've seen, and just wanted to make sure, you know, if you're going to be farming, at least, you know, something to keep in mind. If you want to do a lot of fights, by all means, this is the easiest fights you can do. 4-minute fights, you're done. 7-minute fights, you're done. 7-minute fights, you're done. This one right here, regular, is 4-5 minutes. 4x is 7 minute. This one right here is 2-3-minute fights. This one right here is no fights, if just for clearing up and patrol wards and no fights. This one right here is technically, you know, no real fights. This one you're doing at least 5 fights, with the first 2 being easy, and then it gets hard after that, if, you know, depending on the level you're doing. And then these ones are also easy to do, because you throw in traps and you do 3 1-minute fights, which are quick to go. You can even wait for your turrets, your drones to come back. If you time them correctly, you can get away with it. And then after that, I move on to deliver the bomb, just because it's 4-minute fight. Those I avoid them at all costs until I have to do them. Evacuate the shelters are the next easier ones for me after deliver the bomb, because you go in, you run out of time, you defend, you're done. You don't have to depend on whether you want to start it or not. You just have to defend it when it's done, and that's that. And then these ones are my least favorite ones most of the time, just because you have to find the little modules, and when you're doing those desert missions, they're almost impossible to see. Or maybe I'm just really blind, which I wouldn't put it past me, honestly. But I try to avoid them at all costs, same as Write the Lightning. And those are like my last hope kind of thing. If I'm done with everything else that gives tickets, then I'll do an Evacuate the Shelter, or if the rewards are good enough to do, like if they have an 80 re-perk up, I will do it no matter what mission it is, which they don't have any right now. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to see, I can compile a video. I can do a couple missions right now and record them and compile a video with the rewards at the end. That way you guys can see the average of the rewards. Usually they don't deviate much, which means, you know, 94 missions usually do give you about 12 to 13,000 XP per packet. This is 2 packets, so it's 24,000 XP, 25,000. This is 2 packets of heroes, so it's 25,000. This is 2 packets of XP, so it's about 25,000. The ones that do 1 packet, you're just, you know, you're getting about 13,000 schematic XP. You're getting about 60 re-perks in this one. Yeah, this one right here gives you about 40 epic perk ups and 12,000 survivor XP. So, you know, I try to stay away from missions that don't have tickets, just because tickets, you know, you're farming the tickets for the items so you can fill your collection book. See, I'm missing a couple legendaries to put in my book. I'm missing a couple weapons to put in my book. No, I think I got the weapons. That's expansion event, yeah. No, I got all the weapons in this one. But still, if you're farming for tickets, you can get your design points, you can get schematics, you can get whatever you need from the llamas, and that way you're building your collection, you know. Again, I am a little low. I'm doing good on these guys now. They all came from, you know, either free llamas or just farming on missions. Another way that I get my design points is by transforming greens into blues and then recycling them. So yeah, quick one. I tried to be quick, but it takes too long.